A contract begins when one party makes an offer and another party accepts the offer. Rhode Island's highest court considered whether a purported acceptance was valid in State of Rhode Island Department of Transportation versus Providence and Worcester Railroad Company. Providence and Worcester Railroad Company owned waterfront property that was unimproved except for some abandoned railroad tracks. Eventually, the railroad company entered into an agreement to sell the property to Promet Corporation for $100,000. That agreement was subject to a statutorily required option that gave the State of Rhode Island a 30-day window to accept the railroad company's offer to sell the property under the terms outlined in the agreement. After receiving notice from the railroad company, the State of Rhode Island Department of Transportation responded with a letter indicating that the state was accepting the railroad company's offer. The letter also said that the state would have to replace Promet as the named buyer in the sales agreement and that, unlike Promet, the state wouldn't expect the railroad company to remove the railroad tracks. Later, the state delivered a check for the $100,000, only to discover that the railroad company had already completed the sale to Promet. The state sued for the property in Rhode Island State Court, naming the railroad company and Promet as defendants. Concluding that the state's letter was a valid acceptance of the railroad company's offer, making the sale to Promet null and void, the trial court ordered the property transferred to the state. Promet appealed to the Rhode Island Supreme Court, challenging the validity of the state's acceptance.